What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Beyond the Screen. I know, Jazz, where have you been? If you watch Jazz Life, you know I was infected with viral plague and then had an awful stomach flu, was in the hospital and all kinds of stuff. I feel like I jinxed myself. I literally told you guys, hey, I'm back and I'm gonna have these videos, they're gonna be great, and the only thing that'll stop me is if I'm sick. I literally got sick that night. Woke up Thursday morning and was just and it was awful. But we're back. And in this video, we are going to be talking about the challenge, War of the Worlds, episodes 1, 2, and 3. Yes, we're gonna talk about all 3 episodes so that we can get caught up on all that's in my head about these shows. Because I've been watching them, I just couldn't breathe. And I still kind of can't breathe, but we can't get a month behind at the beginning of having these videos back. It's terrible. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna shower and I'm gonna get my fat pregnant self up and I'm gonna go get these videos done for the people. Congestion or not. But there is congestion, you could hear it. My lips have been so chapped. You know how hard it is being pregnant? I just need to have like a pregnant rant video so I don't bother you kind people with it. But like when you can't breathe out your nose, you're sleeping and you're like and then you wake up and your lips are all dry and then they stay dry because it's winter time. It doesn't matter how much burnt bees I put on, they're still dry. So forgive my dry lips over the next, you know, month and a half of my pregnancy because it's difficult. Anyways, we're gonna go back. We're just gonna go back just to make sure you guys can hear all of my thoughts. So this is probably gonna be a little bit longer, just a wee bit longer than all of my other videos about the challenge are gonna be, just because we're covering so much. I mean, some stuff I'm not gonna be as descriptive or like pondering on because we've already figured it out as the episodes have played out, right? But I do have to mention that on premiere night, I had such a blast tweeting with you guys that were watching with me. It was so much fun to talk about it. And then the challenge like retweeted me and like responded to me, which was really cool. That's somebody who's trying to get it. Anyways, Cara Maria hosted an IG Live and she had people come in. What was weird for me is when I chimed in, Jose was her guest, and I didn't really understand that because he's not on this season. But what was interesting to me was the stuff he had to say and the shade that he had to throw about not being on the season. And he like made like little remarks about how he was just as busy as Cara Maria was and blah, blah, blah. Like, oh, I was working on his show, but you were working on his show and you still got to get on this season because she's Cara Maria and you're Jose. Like, get over yourself. What are you even talking about right now? Like, comparing the two and what jobs and who was available doesn't even make sense. Nobody cares about you. Like, she's a vet of the show. You can't do War of the Worlds and not have Cara Maria. They already got a loud, outspoken dude and brought Josh on as a newbie. That's all they needed. We couldn't have Josh and Jose in the house together on the challenge. That just would have been a nightmare. It's hard enough having Amanda. Oh, God. Ugh. I love the whole intro. I'm still enjoying the whole Mad Max vibe of it all. There was actually 16 vets. I feel like I said like 18 or something before, but I got my numbers mixed up. There were 16 vets that came on because 2 were getting eliminated right away. At first I was stoked at who those people were. I was like, bye Liz, because I told you guys how I felt about her, and bye Josh, because I told you how I felt about him. And then in some strange turn of events, the newbies get to be the ones that pick the teams. They get to pick a vet to be on the team with them. And because Alon, this new newbie, broke his arm during the first challenge, Josh got to come back and got to be on Amanda's team. And that all ended up settling how it did because Gus had to pick between Jenna and Amanda. How awful. I love Jenna and I can't stand Gus, and now they're attached to each other. Gus is performing, so that's awesome, but I'm not really happy that he's on the same team with Jenna because I would love to just see him disappear, but I don't want to see Jenna disappear. I feel like she always gets gypped somehow. She gets hurt or her partner does something stupid or whatever, and then she has to leave at a reason it's not her fault. So whatever. I was hoping that because Amanda was the lone wolf and didn't get picked, that she was just gonna have to leave. But no, we'll just bring this other guy back and you guys can be on a team together. But I did love the concept of them having to earn their spot. The vets showing up on their ATVs and everything was so legit, and then just being like, cool, we're gonna have this challenge. If you can hack it, you're on the show. If not, kick rocks. So that was really cool. I liked that a lot. What was interesting to me night one, I'll kind of skip over some of the things I was going to talk about just because they're just kind of irrelevant now with where we are being done with episode 3. But what was interesting to me is the whole Kim and Leroy being on completely separate pages thing, because if you look in the trailer, it looks like they're going to have some intimate time, but it also looks like she's kind of feeling Theo and Theo's feeling her. So there's going to be some love triangle action going on, which makes sense because Leroy's like, oh, I love Kim, and Kim's like, I'm just doing my thing, you know? So I don't know. I don't know where that miscommunication between the two of them is coming from, but I think it's gonna make for really good drama in the weeks coming forward. So I'm really looking forward to that. Besides the whole Josh and Amanda thing, I'm actually really happy with how the teams turned out. I mean, it works out that Josh and Amanda are on the same team. I hate that they're both on the show, but they're on the same team, so if their team gets eliminated, no problem. While as with Gus and Jenna, if they get eliminated, I'm happy that Gus is gone, but sad that Jenna's gone. So those are probably the only two teams I'm conflicted about. Everything else I think is really, really, really good matchups. I was really happy with just the dynamics of how it all worked out. I think the vets did a really good job. I think politically they made some mistakes that could go, you know, right or wrong, which we're gonna find out as we get into talking about episode 3, but I feel like they did a good job for rookies. Episode 2, the challenge was kind of weird for me. It was like a whole like tug of war thing. It was kind of confusing to like tell a clear winner. Even my husband was like, wait, like how do you win? Like, I don't know, I just don't like that. I like to be able to be like, yeah, that person crossed the finish line or this person did that. It was like weird. They were like pulling a giant rope through like a car and then like a monster truck comes and then one team is on one side and they're happy and the other team looks all defeated, and I didn't understand the distinction of who won or how that worked. But what we found out with this being the first challenge is that the top 3 end up safe and become the tribunal. The tribunal are the people that are responsible for putting people up for elimination. They get to pick 3 teams to go up, and then once we get to elimination, each of them have an individual vote of what team they want to go in, and then of course majority rules, that selected team goes in, and then that selected team gets to pick from everybody that's left except the people in the tribunal on who they're gonna go against in the elimination competition. The teams that ended up winning and being the tribunal were Cara and Theo, Bananas and Morgan, and Josh and Amanda. So that made for a complete-ish show as far as deliberating was concerned to figure out who was gonna go in, because of course all of these people are on very different pages and there's no talking to Amanda about anything because she's whack. So it ended up being Zach and Zahida, shocker, Chase and Ashley, shocked again, and Hunter and Georgia, which are all personal vendettas, and it's what we expected with who the people were. The most interesting thing to me about this episode was when Bananas is joking around and being Bananas and trying to perform the exorcism with the hanker on Amanda, and she flips out on the entire house and like makes it this dramatic situation. Jenna ends up getting involved and calls Amanda out for the bomb that she was gonna drop at the reunion show, and of course that ends up being that Zach was on some a bumbo or something. I don't know, I'm married, I'm old, I had no idea. Me and my husband were like, what is that? And then in describing it, I mean Tinder I've heard of with the swiping, because Zach defended himself by saying I never swiped whichever direction is the good direction, as if that helps plead his case somehow. Whatever, he was guilty. And then I was really disappointed in how Zach responded to the whole thing, because Amanda was like, he was on bumbo when we got eliminated or blah blah blah, and then like he instantly flipped out about it, acted guilty, and then tried to flip the script on Jenna and like make it her fault, and was like calling for security to like get away from. It was just too much. I was like, okay, so you got caught doing something stupid that you shouldn't have been doing, and now you're trying to take it out on Jenna, who's literally the sweetest person ever, who has given him a ridiculous amount of chances. I liked Zach, but I didn't really appreciate that whole mentality, like, grow up. Once we reach the killing floor, which is our elimination pit, that's friggin' awesome. The tribunal picks individually on who goes in, and it ends up being Hunter and Georgia. And no surprise here, Hunter and Georgia end up picking Ashley and Chase. Now, for those of you that watched the previous season, we know that that is the ultimate most fresh vendetta, because Ashley and Hunter won the finale of the Vendettas seasons, and Ashley had the best overall score, and she chose to keep the whole $1 million to herself. So she gypped Hunter out of $500,000. I agree with her reasoning and her logic behind it. I'm not in her shoes. I don't really know if I could have did it, but I felt her. Hunter was extremely disrespectful to her the entire season. What she said, he said about her family ended up being true and everything. They played the clip, so it's not like she lied, and her feelings are what her feelings are. She doesn't owe him nothing. At the end of the day, she's looking out for number one. I don't like Ashley, but I do respect her decision. So this was a huge, huge elimination, and Hunter and Georgia ended up coming out on top. So he got his revenge and he was happy, and he got to send Ashley and Chase home. I was glad to see them go. I wasn't really feeling Chase. I didn't like how he acted night one with Nani, the whole Nani and Bananas thing. Like, you guys just met and he's acting like Nani owes him some sort of like loyalty or whatever. So that was neither, like, bye, go, see ya, bye, see ya later. I don't like Hunter either, but he can go another day. Ashley and Chase had to go. We do find out and get confirmation that losers just go home. There's absolutely no redemption house. On the flip this season, instead of the loser getting an opportunity, the winner actually gets a really opportunity, and TJ introduces this mysterious relic. We don't end up finding about the relic until this recent episode that, I don't know if you're seeing this on Thursday or Friday, so Wednesday's episode came on yesterday or 2 days ago. I don't know what Juice's schedule's like. So the most recent episode, episode number 3, that's where we're at right now. We find out that what's dope about the relic is that the winning team from elimination is now automatically safe for the next elimination. So it's like, not only did you just save yourself this week, now you're safe for next week no matter what. And I think that's kind of legit, that you get this reward, and it's like this like head. That's what it looks like. And you get to take it and you get to carry it. It's like having an immunity idol for Survivor. It's pretty dope. I was hype about the particular challenge for episode 3 because it's physical. It's down and dirty. It's like, who wants it most? It was so legit. There was like this whole brick maze field thing, and now we have 15 teams, but there's only 12 balls. So there's 12 balls distributed in the giant brick maze area, and then first it's the guys, and the guys gotta go and run and find a ball, and then they gotta run it back to their female teammate, and then she has to run through a huge, wet, yucky mud pit and get to the finish line. Catch is, there's only 12 balls, so you can either hang out and wait for your dude to bring you a ball, or you could go fight another female for her ball. Yeah, that went left real fast because it turned into like a bloodbath really fast. Georgia and Amanda fight in the mud. Morgan gets jumped by Cam and Dee. Then Dee switches to Shailene and steals her ball. Cam wins her fight, and Natalie fights and ends up with the last ball. It was insane. It was like, it was madness. But you could really see the fight in those girls and who really came to play and who's really just trying to like tread by. Round 2, the guys and the girls switch roles, and the biggest mistake in this round is that Zach is like getting jumped and like lobs his ball, and Wes catches it. Now Zach being allies with Bananas and Wes ending up with a ball that came from Zach's hands and crossing the finish line is not a good thing. Bananas automatically decided that that was like a plot against him and that Zach is trying to play both sides, and he did it intentionally. Do I think that it was stupid? Absolutely. You fight for that ball with all your might because you don't know who's over there. You've got mud and 2 grown dudes jumping on your head. You can't see anything. It's just too much. So it's like, why you would pick that opportunity to just throw the game away, I don't really understand, but I don't think for one second that it was some conspiracy and that Zach and Wes were working together. I just don't. For the third round, the guys and the girls switch back, and Hunter ends up just throwing his ball to Wes because they're working together and Hunter's safe. So it's just a hot mess. And I didn't really appreciate Julia like giggling her way through her ball fight with Ninja Natalie, because it's like, you're not really taking this serious. Like, you guys aren't gonna win, and it's just frustrating to me. I don't like that. Like, if you're gonna go and you're gonna be on the challenge, you need to be here and be ready to play and fight and not giggle your way through a physical challenge. It's just dumb. The tribunal ends up being Wes and D, Cam and Ashley C, and Polly and Ninja Natalie, which was interesting because for deliberation, they decided that they were just gonna let Wes rule it and talk for Bananas' interviews. Of course, Bananas got frustrated because Bananas and Morgan got thrown in, of course. Amanda and Josh got thrown in as a bird vote by Cam and Ashley C. And then Kyle and Maddie got thrown in by Polly, obviously, because the whole Cara Maria situation. When it came down to the individual vote, that got interesting real fast because it came down to a tie because each team individually voted for the team that their team threw in. Does that make sense? So like Wes and D both voted for Bananas and Morgan, right? And then Cam and Ashley C both voted for, who the fools they threw in, Amanda and Josh. You know, and the other team did the same thing. But what the catch was, is Cam and Ashley voted last. And so TJ was like, Cam, are you sure you want to do that? Because now it's gonna be a stalemate. You don't want that to happen. On Survivor, that happens, the whole thing gets flipped and safe people end up going home. So you don't ever want to leave anything at a tie. So everybody's like reconsidering. Wes and D, they stuck to their guns. They're like, we're not changing, all this stuff. Ashley's like, you know what? It's for the greater good. My vote's going towards Bananas and Morgan. So Bananas and Morgan end up having to go in, and Bananas decides that in true emotional fashion, he is going to continue to be upset with Zach for making a mistake and calls him out. As your friend, dude, why you? For what? Like what? Like, what were you thinking? What were you thinking? Like, why? Why? You're so emotional. Have a conversation. Be smart. Give it time. It's too soon for you to be so paranoid. Like, I was just really disappointed in Bananas' decision. The challenge ended up being these like huge rock walls that were like, you know, earth. And you had to correctly label, I think you had like 20 countries. It was something like 20 countries you had to correctly label with like these magnet flag strips. Zach and Zahida end up winning by 3. So Bananas and Morgan gotta go home. I rock with Bananas, because you guys know that I rock with the vets. I've been conflicted since he dogged Sarah out, of course, and I feel like he's been cursed ever since. He hasn't had a good season. Now, my husband brings up a good point that it's tough when, you know, you got everybody working against you. He doesn't know if it's possible for him to do well when everybody's against you, but Bananas brought that on himself. His attitude, his demeanor, and his gameplay got him to where he was. It also got him to be the champion that he is, but now I feel like as he gets older, he's paying the consequences because these new people come in and they're like, nah, we know better because we've seen how you move. And now you've like betrayed your friend. So it's like you're not making it any easier for yourself on the challenges moving forward, dummy. So whatever, he deserved to go. And it is what it is. I hope he enjoyed that money that he took from Sarah, because it doesn't look like he's any closer to winning any more money anytime soon. Next week, we have a double elimination, and I'm really excited about it. I told you guys there's a lot of people, so either it's gonna get real reckless real fast, or there's gonna be a lot of crazy twists. So I'm really hyped. I'm enjoying the season so far. I'm not, I don't know. I don't know how things are gonna go. Things are just gonna be wild, I feel like, for these first few weeks, and I think it's just gonna get crazier and crazier. Cara guaranteed the most intense, brutal final we've ever laid eyes on, just because people did so much complaining about the trilogy series not being rough enough. So we're really just gonna have to see how things go. Get in those comments, let me know how you guys are feeling about the season so far, what your predictions are, what teams do you like, what teams don't you like, and mainly, how did you feel about Bananas and Zach's situation in episode 3? I really want to talk to all of you guys about that. Oh, and Amanda. Can't forget to talk about Amanda. Amanda needs to stop calling grown men the B word, and she needs to calm her jets. I don't like her. I feel like she's super disrespectful, and I can't wait to see her go. Right now, she's the person that I want to see gone the most. I feel like she brings in so much negative energy, and it drives me nuts. So also tell me that. Who would you guys like to see go next week in this double elimination? She's the one for sure. Who else can go? Oh, Hunter. Hunter and Georgia can go. Hunter and Georgia and Amanda and Josh leaving in the elimination would be fantastic to me, but we'll see what happens. Get in the comments. Let's talk about it. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you smack that like button. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. As always, I love and appreciate each and every one of you. Until next time, God first, God bless.